Hello and welcome back. My name is Elias Siegelman, and today we're going to break down a viral moment where Hillary Clinton called out Trump and accused him and his administration of a massive cover-up. We're going to break her comments down and take a closer look at the exposed record that Donald Trump is being accused of. So let's watch this viral moment play out together, and let's roll the clip.
Out of this story, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is accusing the Trump administration of a cover-up over its handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. Clintons are set to testify later this month as part of the House's probe into the convicted sex offender. Hillary Clinton sat down with our partners at BBC News to speak about the investigation.
Get the files out. They are slow-walking it. They are redacting the names of men who are in it. They are stonewalling legitimate requests from members of Congress. That has nothing to do with us. Something is going on. They know it. I know it. If they're going to...
So yeah, essentially just to start, she's bringing up the fact that the Trump administration is, one, supposed to have released the Epstein files a long time ago. It is mandated. It is law. Two, they're hiding plenty of perpetrators of those crimes, the actual criminals in the Epstein files, the rapists, murderers, and cannibals that are aplenty in the files are being redacted, while the victims were unredacted as kind of this intimidation tactic to threaten them, to show that they had no intention of actually pursuing justice, because they're redacting the names that they're supposed to unredact and unredacting the names that they are supposed to redact. And we have instances where Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, this is unrelated to Hillary Clinton, were able to see the full unredacted files, and it was pretty clear to them that, yeah, it's basically purposeful that they are doing this to hurt the victims and to protect the same pedophiles and criminals in those files. So Hillary here is just basically like, yeah, they are doing what everyone sees that they're doing. And I wish that Hillary Clinton would have come out with this a long time ago. I was talking about the Epstein files from the very beginning, and I was being extreme about it. I was talking right out front that Donald Trump is a child rapist, murderer, cannibal. And I wish that Hillary Clinton and people like her would just come outright and say that, along with all of the other issues, like, hey, they're hiding the Epstein files, they're redacting the names that should be unredacted and unredacting the names that shouldn't be, et cetera, et cetera. But I'll give Hillary props here for actually talking about it and continuing to talk about it, because this is not an issue that is ever going to be resolved, because there is no justice, and we should be talking about this all the time, constantly. Let's keep rolling it.
have me testify, I would prefer to do it in public because I want everybody to see it at the same time. If I have to do it behind closed doors, they're not going to like what I have to say, because I have very strong opinions about what it is they're hiding and who they are protecting.
So yeah, she was here talking about how she and Bill Clinton are actually supposed to appear at a hearing in private, because of course the Trump administration doesn't want them to publicly say what they know about the files, because hey, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton are in the Epstein files, and they're like, okay, we're not guilty of anything, so perhaps we'll just cooperate and tell them everything we know. But it would be much better, of course, if they were publicly going to face this hearing, because then we'd hear all of the juicy details that they'd talk about, unless they would also participate in protecting those same pedophiles, those same billionaires. Because I'll mention something here. Bill Clinton could have released some Epstein files while he was president. So could have Biden, so could have Obama, so could have Bush, so could have Trump in his first term. So all of these presidencies, they participated in protecting all of the people in the files. And they knew that there were plenty of people doing this. This was no secret to all these rich, wealthy people, like thousands of people, thousands of wealthy, elite people are in these files, along with hundreds to thousands of victims that are known so far. So this is not a secret. And the fact that she's now willing to say, okay, I'm willing to come out and say everything I know about the files in private or in public, at least that's a good thing, right?
CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand joins us from the White House with more on this. Natalie, the former Secretary Clinton there seems to be coming out swinging, not holding anything back. How is the White House responding?
Yeah, President Trump was asked about this interview on Air Force One while returning to Washington, D.C. last night, and he argued that he's been totally exonerated by the release of the files. Take a listen to more of what he had to say.
I have nothing to hide. I've been exonerated. I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. They went in hoping that they'd find it and found just the opposite. I've been totally exonerated.
Okay. All right, so just another obvious, blatant Trump lie. Literally anyone who believes a single word out of that horrible freak fascist's mouth deserves whatever comes to them, because every single thing he says is a lie. He is in the files, the unredacted files, over 1 million times. He's in the redacted files thousands of times. At this point, it's not just the Epstein files, it's the Trump Epstein files. He's in the files that much. He and Epstein were like this. They were like this. They were like this together. That is how close they were. Trump's current wife, Melania, was introduced to him by Epstein. They were bestest of buddies. And of course, now he's turning on him because it's going to be bad for him to publicly say that he knew Epstein and was best friends with him. But they were together a lot. Trump went to the island. Trump had dinners with Epstein. Trump invited him to things. Epstein invited him to things. They were together. They participated in the same things. In the unredacted files and in the redacted files, you can see Trump participating in a lot of the activities, in a lot of the rape, murder, and cannibalization of infants and children. So again, they were tight, and the fact that Trump thinks that anyone is going to believe him when he says that he had nothing to do with it. Oh, this hoax is over. I had nothing to do with it, folks. Don't look at me. So stupid. No one's going to believe that shit from him. Besides MAGA, of course.
Now, recall that in some of the recently released files, the former police chief of Palm Beach, in an interview with the FBI, said that Trump called him in 2006 and essentially reportedly said, thank goodness you're stopping Epstein, and also suggesting that everyone knew about Epstein's activities. The White House also argues that by releasing millions of files, it's committed to transparency and has done more for the victims and survivors than previous administrations. But as we've been discussing, Errol, and reporting, a number of survivors and lawmakers still aren't satisfied, saying that many more files are being withheld. They're also unhappy with the redaction, saying some individuals' names are being protected, they claim, and argue that other names, victims' names, are being exposed. We also know that Congressman Thomas Massie has been pushing for the release of some past DOJ memos that detailed decisions on whether to charge Epstein and associates. He is still pushing for those. As for the Clintons, you heard former
Okay, so yeah, Pam Bondi especially is the number one participant in blocking these files. She is directly responsible for making sure that all of these pedophiles and politicians and billionaires and millionaires and actors and other powerful people and ambassadors, et cetera, that they were protected and redacted purposely. We just saw a hearing with Pam Bondi. Check out our channel for some clips on that, where she never responded accurately or honestly to a single question and basically attacked the hearing members for daring to question Trump and her about his many appearances in the Epstein files. So Pam Bondi especially is complicit in this. Anyone protecting these pedophiles is complicit in this criminal behavior. She is the head of the DOJ, and she's directly responsible for releasing the Epstein files, and her response to that responsibility is not to be, oh, I'm so sorry to the survivors, to the victims, we'll do our best to pursue justice. It's to insult and threaten the survivors and the members of the hearing. So she is directly responsible for participating and blocking any investigation and protecting these pedophiles on purpose.
Secretary Clinton alluded to it. She is soon going to appear before the House Oversight Committee behind closed doors for a deposition, even though she's been pushing to make it public. Those depositions scheduled for later next week. Also important to note that the Clintons have not been accused of any wrongdoing, Errol.
All right, Natalie Brand with the latest on this.
Okay, so a lot to talk about there. Essentially, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton are in the files. They have not been accused of anything, but they have appeared in pictures, at least Bill has, and they're talked about a bunch. You can search through the redacted files yourself. If you go to jmail.world, you can actually look at the redacted files that others have organized as if you're looking at it through Epstein's email inbox. So definitely take a look at that. It's very interesting. Also take a look at our partner channel, where we talk about a lot of other issues as well. But Hillary Clinton here talked about the Epstein files, talked about how Trump is trying to block them from coming out. And considering that Hillary Clinton just exposed Donald Trump's potential connections and all of the crimes that he's committed, that I believe he definitely committed, we definitely have to ask what is going to be discovered next, if at all, or if there's going to be any prosecution at all, if they are ever going to even attempt to pursue justice. Because at this point, with Pam Bondi and the DOJ being entirely captured by Trump and the MAGA party, just because they released the files doesn't mean they're actually going to prosecute anyone in them, right? And at this rate, I don't even know if that's the case unless there's some extreme pressure or if the prosecutions happen outside of federal authority. So let us know what you think about the Epstein files and what Hillary Clinton had to say in this most recent interview. And hey, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel for more exciting political content just like this. I'm Elias Siegelman, and we'll see you next time with another exciting video. Peace.